Mic check. Can you hear me? Zasha. Mic check. Can you hear me? Shit. Why does this keep happening? Mic check. Can you hear me? Zasha, can you hear me?
2 minutes until showtime.
Mic check. Can you hear me? Damn. Hey, it is an unstoppable day. This is Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge with Unstoppable Coaching and the host of the Unstoppable Story Show with Coach Terrance. I am so pleased that you are here for another Tuesday night as we do the end of the year broadcast for the Unstoppable Story Show. And we have a powerful, great show for you tonight. And then we've got some technical difficulties going on, so I want to see if we've got our guest on the line right now. So, mic check. Are you on the call? Hey. All right, so we've got our special guest on the call, Zasha Hall, the body transformation coach, and she's going to be sharing an unstoppable story with us this evening. Unfortunately, I'm having some problems with the computer studio, so I'm not able to simulcast it so that the audio can be heard on Facebook Live. So we're going to make sure that we send everybody who's watching on Facebook Live, that we send them to the link to listen to the audio. The audio is on the link at www.blogtalkradio.com / Unstoppable Coaching. And what I'm going to do real quick, let me see if I can put you on, at least put you on speaker, and then I'm going to see if our Facebook Live people can hear us. So hold on just one second.
Okay.
Zasha, can you hear me?
I sure can.
All right. So I am using technology, kind of cool technology. So I've got some people watching on Facebook Live. So say who you are loud and proud. Let's do a mic check so see if they can hear you. And then I'm going to ask them to see if they can hear you as well.
All right. This is Zasha Hall, your body transformation coach.
All right. So thank you so very much for doing that. And if you are watching us on Facebook Live, can you just say, press 1 if you can hear Zasha and myself pretty well. Press 2 if you can't hear us. So let me see. We've got Zelandia Hammond watching us on Facebook Live. We've got Sade Jarrett. We've got Zasha. You're actually watching on Facebook Live. And we've got Brianna watching.
Yeah.
So definitely. If you can hear me, press 1. All right. Sue Ham said she can hear you. So pressing 1. Thank you. Sade, can you hear Zasha? Zasha, keep talking. We want to make sure she can hear you pretty well.
Yes, we are here. I'm excited about tonight and giving you all this incredible story that's absolutely going to help change and inspire a lot of lives. So I definitely hope you can hear me.
All right. So we are going to keep it rocking. We're going to keep it rolling because we know we can hear you on Blog Talk Radio. And again, tell your friends to go to blogtalkradio.com/unstoppable stories so that you can hear this phenomenal story that is taking place this evening as we end out the year with the Unstoppable Stories. Thank you guys for riding along with us for this entire year. It has been a great, phenomenal year for the Unstoppable Stories show. We've shared some very, very personal stories on the Unstoppable Story Show. We've shared stories of overcoming. We've shared stories of coming from nothing to being actors in major movies. We've shared stories of people who have gone through abuse and now they are authors. And just like tonight, we're going to share another unstoppable story. And that story is one of transformation. You know, happy holidays to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all of that. I hope you are having a phenomenal holiday season filled with nothing but unstoppable joy here from the Unstoppable Story Show. But, you know, it's at this time of year, after you've had the Thanksgiving turkey, after you've done all the holiday parties at work or at your ministry or at your worship services, and after you've had family meals for Christmas time, and you've had the apple pie, and you've had the sweet potato pie, and you've had the peach cobbler, and you've had the ice cream, and you've had all those things. Now we decide, most of us decide, that we're going to make that phenomenal New Year's resolution. That thing that says, I am going to be different next year than I was this year. I'm going to be fit and trim. I'm going to have muscles on top of muscles. I'm going to be in a size 3 when I was in a size 13. Or I'm going to be in a size 13 when I was in a size 22. We've all made them. But now, reality begins to kick in. And statistics show, and I am a witness to understanding, that those New Year's resolutions that you make before the new year, especially when it comes to weight loss, generally go by the wayside by the time you get to spring. So we are not going to be talking to you tonight about how you can lose weight. No. That's not what we do here at the Unstoppable Story Show. We are going to be talking to you tonight about how you can transform your life, how you can take action for yourself, and how you can better yourself so that you can be seen in 2017. It's the second day of Kwanzaa, and as I said earlier, happy Kwanzaa. And the second day of Kwanzaa is aptly entitled Kujichagulia, and that is Swahili for to define ourselves, to name ourselves, to create for ourselves, and to speak for ourselves. And that's exactly what our guest is going to do tonight. This is a phenomenal young woman who has an unstoppable story of transformation from the inside out, from the mind into the body, into the spirit. She's going to be talking to you about how she decided to change her mind. And because she changed her mind, she was able to transform her body and lose an amazing 180 pounds. If you are still watching on Facebook Live, take a look at this picture. Take a look at the screen behind you. This is my new friend, Zasha Hall Walker. On my left, your right, you see Zasha about 6 years ago. She was topping the scale at 350 pounds. She was not happy with herself. She was not happy with the outside, and she definitely wasn't happy with the inside. And now, on my right to your left, is the new and improved Zasha. And then the next picture is the overjoyed, I got a new attitude, Zasha. Zasha is out on the lakefront. She is happy. She's kicking her heels. She's wearing her fly white Christmas hat with her black suit on, and she is living the dream. Why? Because Zasha decided that she was going to have a new attitude in a new year so that she could create a new you. And now in 2017, she is stepping outside of her comfort zone, telling her story so that she can help each and every one of you have that same transformation and start not losing weight, but changing your lifestyle in 2017. So without further ado, I want to invite to the Unstoppable Story Show the phenomenal, the fantastic, the lovely Zasha Hall Walker. Zasha, are you officially on the call?
Yes, I am. I thank you so much for that intro. That was awesome.
Well, you are so deserving of it. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show right now. We appreciate you so much. You have a phenomenal story. And as I told you before we set up this interview, I was taking 2 weeks off. I was taking the last 2 weeks of the year off. I was going to kick back, take some time for myself and family, but I also was going to take some time to start gearing up for 2017. So I wasn't planning on doing any shows. But then I heard your story. I just happened to be browsing on Facebook, and you decided to do a Facebook Live, and you decided to tell your story. And I said, oh my God, this woman is unstoppable, and she needs to be on the Unstoppable Story Show, and she needs to tell her story. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up for a couple of minutes. I'm going to ask you one question, and then I'm going to let you tell our audience the story. And again, Deborah Vines, Tavia Free Spirit, Sue Ham Baby, you guys get on the horn, share this with your friends. This story is going to change lives tonight. I guarantee it. So without further ado, Zasha, first of all, tell us, what does it mean to you to be unstoppable?
Oh, wow. Being unstoppable means that you are not afraid to step out there and tell the world of your transformational story. That you are not afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and be vulnerable and put your story out there. That means that you are a moving force. You are a moving power that has the opportunity through sharing your story to change and impact lives.
Wow. And you have been able to affect change. So you are calling yourself the body transformation coach. And we're going to talk about that on the back end, but I want you to tell us how this story all began. Tell us who Zasha Hall is and how she got to the point where she even needed to talk about body transformation.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so excited and honored to be here telling you all this story. You know, my story actually began as a child, growing up in a low-income, single-parent household. And like most people in my community, we didn't necessarily have, the best eating habits or understand much about nutrition. You made do with what you had and what was affordable, which was pretty much all things processed, junk food, everything sweet, high in carbs and sugar, with no portion control at all whatsoever. And I know that most of America can relate to this. I wasn't necessarily a chubby kid, but I wasn't a small kid either. So that was pretty much my lifestyle growing up that caught up with me as a young adult.
Okay. Now, are you a tall woman or average size African American woman? What?
I think more. I think I would be considered tall at the height of 5'9".
Okay. Yeah, I think so. And so even as a youngster, even though you were tall, you still felt like
yes.
you were dealing with weight. What were you dealing with as far as weight as a kid? Was it more internally, or was it more being forced upon you by other people's opinions of you?
I think it was probably a combination of both. As a child, you're just susceptible to a lot of cruelty among kids. You're susceptible to, what you see out there on TV, in magazines and all kind of things that can play a big, major part, especially for young women, that can take a major toll in your self-esteem and your confidence. And so I definitely think it was a combination of both of those things.
Okay. And so as you grew into a teenager and into a young adult, did the issues subside, or did the issues get worse that you were dealing with?
Well, so here goes. I'll tell you exactly as far as from how my story began as a child on up until a young adult, and it'll all make sense.
Okay.
After high school, it was pretty much my lifestyle again that caught up to me. After high school and college and as a young professional, I started working for a Fortune 500 company, and the job was sedentary. So I pretty much was sitting at a desk for a majority of the day. And after a few years, I started, just feeling stuck and stagnated. My daily routine, it was no longer fulfilling because I wanted to grow. So this, plus the bad eating habits, that I'd had from a child on up until adulthood, plus the non-active lifestyle, it was just a toxic mix. I got into a rut, and I started putting on more weight. As I started having to buy bigger clothes, my self-esteem and confidence began to just plummet. And it's funny because, I was always just so fun and so outgoing, and, all my friends, I was the person that everyone wanted to be around because this was a pain that I hid very well. No one knew exactly how I really felt on the inside. And this is how a lot of people, this is what they're experiencing on the inside, is it's a hidden pain, of weight loss. So around about year 5, here I am still a young professional. I'm still at this same job. It's sedentary. I'm still not active. My lifestyle hasn't changed much. My weight at that point, around year 5, I was already, my weight was already increasing. Around year 5, I'd gotten up to about 300 pounds.
Wow.
I mean, I would look in the mirror, Terrance, and feel sick to my stomach. And I would just keep I remember nights going home from work. I got to the point where I had absolutely no, as far as no kind of social life at all. I would basically go to work and go home. And I remember asking myself, what have I done? Every time I looked in the mirror, because all I could see was pain. All I could see and all I felt was failure. So instead of working on me and looking inward, I sought attention in all the wrong places. I started dating this guy who was obviously the wrong guy for me from the very beginning. I was settling for what I thought was filling an empty void, and I paid a very hefty price for that. A few months into the relationship, he became very severely controlling, verbally and physically abusive. So there I was, severely depressed, feeling ashamed, embarrassed, invisible, unattractive, confused, lost, crushed, and empty on the inside.
Wow.
And I truly believe that at that point, I'd lost my sense of personal value and self-worth. And there are so many people out there that experience that every day.
Wow. How old were you then, Zasha?
I was probably, I want to say, in my early 20s at that point. So this is something that I basically, for as long as I can remember, from middle school on up until high school, this had been something that I'd been secretly struggling with for the majority, of my young adult life. I started after, everything just started to, I started going deeper and deeper into that hole that I was in, that depression and all of these negative feelings. And that was truly, Terrance, one of the darkest moments. It was one of the darkest moments of my life. It's deep down in my soul, as broken as I was, I knew that was not how I wanted to live my life. I had this big vision. I was feeling stuck at this job that I was a young adult, and it was a job that most people would love to have, but I knew that there was more out there for me. And I had this big vision for my life, and I knew that wasn't it. But I felt my life as it could be. So that's something that I struggled with. And I knew that I needed a drastic change. I knew I needed a drastic change, a small change. When you get up to 300 pounds, everything seems impossible. And you can't even begin to imagine what losing 20 pounds is like, let alone more.
Yeah.
One day,
take your time.
One day it's an emotional, this is my very first time putting my story out there. And this is me being vulnerable. And I'm not afraid to do that, because this is what's going to help a lot of people.
And
because
I want you to take.
They're going to know that I can relate to what they're going through.
I want you to take a breath there. I want you, because we got time. I don't want you to get too overwhelmed. I appreciate you, and our audience appreciates you. As a matter of fact, Tavia Free Spirit,
yes,
Facebook Live says she is so proud of you, life-changing Zasha. So many people need to hear your testimony, and keep telling it.
Thank you.
Yes, so we are here for you. We are holding you up as you tell this story. And I just want to interject. You were in your early 20s at a time where most people are just beginning to live life, and they're just beginning to see how beautiful life can be. But for you at that time, you were depressed. You were down. You were feeling the complete opposite of what society says you should be feeling at that time. And it's sad that you had to go through that, and we empathize with you for going through that. But we understand you wouldn't be on the show unless there was something else on the other side that you had to tell us. But it's not just you, Zasha. The statistics say, I was looking at some research for this show, and there was an article that I found even in Australia, halfway around the world, there are reports that they think that this time of year, people are looking to fix their body, but something else needs fixing first. Maybe they are in a dead-end job.
Absolutely.
That's what you said. Maybe they're in a dead-end relationship.
Yes.
That's what you said. Maybe
Yes.
they're worried about their
Yes.
parents' health or can't do anything about it. We need to deal with
Yes.
that before we start dealing with our body and our sizes. I thought that was a powerful, powerful article to see that the same things are happening, the same things that are happening in your neck of the woods, in my neck of the woods, is also the same things that
Yes.
people are dealing with halfway around the world. Isn't that amazing, Zasha?
It is absolutely. Weight loss is a weight on your body. Period is a subproduct of something else. There's something else in that person's life that they've experienced where it was some type of pain, emotional trauma. There's something that caused it to spiral out of control, where they lost hope, and gave up on themselves, or it's just so many different. It's not a one size fits all. Everyone's life is different. So you will hear so many people talk about different things, but it's all emotional. So like you said, I can so relate to that article that you read, because absolutely, it's never just weight. It's always something else caused you to give up, to lose your power, to give your power away. It's always emotional. It's all emotional.
Wow.
All of it.
And you know what? We're gonna pause right there, because when we come back, Zasha's gonna tell us what happened in her life that made the light switch come on, that made the mind shift happen, where she went from being that depressed, overweight young adult to being this beautiful, I like to say this beautiful swan that is before us right now. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Zasha, can you hang out with us a little while longer while we pay some bills, and then we'll come right back to you?
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, you are watching and listening to the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge and our special guest, the body transformation coach, Zasha Hall. We're going to pay some bills, and we're going to be right back. We want to thank our sponsors for the Unstoppable Story Show. We've got Anthony Fonte Coaching, and we've got the Unwelcome Committee. So let's pay some bills, and we'll be back on the other side. You are listening to the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge on blogtalkradio.com and streaming live on Facebook and Periscope.
Hey, did you know it's never too late to have a new beginning in life? That's what Anthony Fonte of Anthony Fonte Coaching believes. His goal is to add more value to you than you ever thought was possible, so that you can know what it's like to have your new beginning in life. Anthony Fonte Coaching at TonyFonteCoaching.com will help you learn how to walk in your new beginning. To schedule a discovery session with Anthony Fonte Coaching, just go to Tony, Tony, at TonyFonte.com. That's Tony at TonyFonte.com. Unstoppable story, then the Unstoppable Story Show is looking for you. Email us at Terrance at unstoppablecoaching.com to get an interview for your Unstoppable Story. The Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge. Ordinary people, unstoppable stories.
Yes, yes, yes. We are back. You are listening to the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge, with our special guest, the body transformation coach herself, Zasha Hall Walker. And you know what? Before I go any further, I was remiss in not saying earlier in the introduction, congratulations on your recent marriage, Miss Zasha Hall Walker.
Thank you so much. He is sitting right. He is my biggest supporter and biggest fan. So he's sitting right here with me, supporting me all the way.
Oh, what's King's name? Let's give King a shout out live on international radio.
Mr. Marvin Walker.
Hey, shout out to Marvin Walker. You got a good one there. Thank you so much for allowing her to share some of her time, especially, y'all was supposed to be back in Honolulu right now, according to my calculation.
We're on our way.
All right. Well, you know what? Congratulations. And, good things happen to good people when they decide to change their mind and transform their lives.
Yes.
So this is just icing on the cake. So we left off with you talking about this life that no young adult should had to go through. But as I tell all my clients, as I tell everybody who watches the show and reaches out to me on Facebook, there is no testimony without a test. There is no message without a mess. And so you would not be here right now if not for learning and going through what you went through then. And because you went through what you went through then, you're able to tell your story now. And because you're telling your story now, somebody is going to be saved tomorrow. So I'm thanking you in advance for the life that you're going to save tomorrow, Zasha.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us, what happened, or what was the turning point that allowed you to go from that person and transform not only your mind but your body into the person that you are today?
Well, so I have to start from, because there is actually two things. Oftentimes in life, especially in dealing with weight loss, we are given so many signs in our life and in our bodies that our body needs a change that we ignore and don't pay attention to. And that is the prime culprit of the 75%, of people, especially of Americans nationwide, the 75% of us that are overweight or obese, because we're not paying attention to the signs. And also the 4,000 people who die every day due to obesity-related diseases. And I barely missed the boat. And this is right here is something this is one of the key points that anybody who's listening right now that I really, really want you to pay close attention to, because I can guarantee that there are a lot of people right now that can relate to some kind of sign, something going on in their body that they've been experiencing that they haven't been paying attention to, that they'll pay attention to after hearing this story. So one day I was at my dad's house watching a movie, and I started to feel in my leg what felt like a cramp. And about 10 minutes later, the throbbing pain, it was paining. We all know what cramps in our legs feel like. Well, this was a cramp that didn't go away.
Wow.
It started to get worse, and my leg just swelled up like a balloon. Ooh. So I went and ran to my dad and said, Dad, and all this happened really fast within the course of maybe 15, 20 minutes. It was a cramp that was getting worse, and just, like I said, that was excruciating pain. He suggested, hey, you need to go to the hospital right now. I jumped in the car, went to the emergency room, and as soon as they saw my leg, they did an ultrasound, and they found a blood clot. I was diagnosed with DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis. And because that condition is so life-threatening, because we know blood clots can travel and go to your lungs, and it's over. That is so life-threatening. I was admitted immediately. And trying to keep the blood clot from traveling to my lungs, they started pumping me with blood thinners and Phenergan. I was heavily sedated.
Oh, wow.
A few days in, I was able to speak to the doctor, and I asked him some questions. And one of them was, what did he think was the cause of my blood clot? And he said he couldn't actually pinpoint it because you can't necessarily say what caused the blood clot. But he did tell me that he'd seen this before in many overweight patients with sedentary jobs. And at that moment, I felt like I was walking a thin line between life and death, Terrance. I spent 2 weeks in the hospital. 2 entire weeks of them doing what they could, constant monitoring and testing, trying to make sure to reduce the size of the blood clot so it would travel through my blood and not travel to my lungs. 2 entire weeks. And in my heart, I know that was due to my weight, that was due to me sitting down, my weight, having a sedentary job, and next thing I know, I'm in the hospital with a blood clot. But that's only one thing, Terrance.
And that's one. One is enough. I can't imagine what else.
That's only one thing. As broken and frustrated and afraid that I was for my life, at that moment, I gave up everything that I felt like was no longer serving me after I left the hospital that day. I quit my job. I sold my house, my car, and I flew to Piney Point, Maryland, which is right outside of Baltimore, to train for another job that I accepted with Norwegian Cruise Line. I gave up everything. About 2 months later, I was flown to the beautiful island of Oahu, Hawaii, to live and work on board a ship out there called the Pride of America. I got a chance to sail the Hawaiian Islands, Oahu, Maui, Big Island, which is Kona and Hilo, Kauai, and I met people from all over the world. I was exposed to a different environment, beliefs, cultures, and, just living in paradise, Terrance. The beauty is so hard to explain. It brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
And that is where the shift in my mindset happened. But again, don't forget, there's one more thing that happened. That is where the shift in my mindset happened. I knew that my body and me being overweight at that moment was not an accurate representation of the standards and expectations that I had for my life. So, for 5 months straight, I worked 15-hour days, no days off. And because I was so heavy, my body took a major hit. At the end of my contract, because of the pressure that my weight had on my joints and my feet, I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis. Oh. Not in one foot, but in both feet, the left and the right foot. And anyone who has ever, and I just heard your reaction, so you must know about this, have heard about this. Anyone who has ever dealt with or experienced plantar fasciitis know that it is terribly excruciating.
Oh yeah, very painful.
So not only was I in pain mentally and emotionally due to my size at this point, but now with this condition, I was also in pain physically. So shortly afterwards, now living on the island, working, and attending school there, I started experiencing throbbing pain on the left side of my head. Terrance, it would just come out of nowhere and stop me in my tracks. So at first, I thought it was just an occasional thing, so I blew it off as stress. After about a month, it started happening every single day. So scared to death, I went to the doctor, and he referred me to a neurologist. After doing a CT scan and testing, the result came back with no findings. No tumor, no abnormalities, or anything that could explain what I was experiencing. So even though it wasn't clear and I was confused, there was no explanation for this pain that I was feeling in my head. The doctor sat me down, and I would never forget this, Terrance. He sat me down, grabbed my hand, and said, Mrs. Hall, I'm going to be honest with you and try to say this in the nicest way possible. I have seen this before in my career. As a medical professional, sometimes there is no explanation. But I want to encourage you to reduce your body mass. That was his nice way of saying I needed to lose weight.
Yeah.
He said, I want to encourage you to reduce your body mass, or the outcome could be tragic. Taking in what the doctor said, Terrance, I left his office and I thought to myself, again, I'm getting this exact same information from the doctor again. I got in the elevator, Terrance, and immediately after the doors closed, I felt the throbbing pain in my head again. But this time, Terrance, I heard a voice, and that voice said, do I have your attention?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I've never felt that pain again. That day in Hawaii, that day in the elevator leaving the doctor's office was the last time I ever felt that pain again after I heard that voice. That was the powerful moment that gave birth to my decision to save my life, Terrance. Because not only did I walk a thin line between life and death once with the blood clot, but twice with this throbbing pain in my head. I was afraid for my life because I knew I may not get a third chance, and that's what inspired me to take immediate action.
I love it. We are talking to Zasha Hall Walker, body transformation coach. And I don't know if you are watching on Facebook Live too, Zasha, but the hearts and the love, they just flew across the screen when you told us that story. Because, it is God, and I ain't afraid to say God on my show. So if y'all don't like it, y'all just get off right now. God will speak to you in many different ways. They say that you look for that still voice in the night. Well, that's for some people. But some of us, and I include myself in it, some of us are hard-headed. And sometimes he has to hit us with the sledgehammer to really get our attention. We will go through life. We will do this. We will do that. We will ignore this statement. We will ignore this diagnosis. And we'll just continue to do. And then he has to do something to just really knock us out to get our attention. And that sounds like what happened to you. And thank God that he just knocked on your door, your proverbial door known as your head, instead of knocking you out completely.
Yes.
So you've got some comments in Facebook Live. Cara Campbell, she's saying, wow, wake up call. It's only God, man. You've got Alonzo Michelle Patterson saying God is good. You've got Tavia Free Spirit saying amen. Shout out to Roland Manning, who's watching us live on Facebook. Shout out to Lisa Hall and Tanya Solomon Leftridge, who's watching. So you've got Brenda Carrington watching. You've got Venus Trujillo Mahia. Alonzo Michelle Patterson Gratik. I hope I'm saying that right. She said, Zasha is my motivation. I've told her that before. You've got Jennifer Foster. Jennifer Foster, she's also a life coach. She's saying, what a fabulous share. And she's saying, thank you for sharing your story with us. So you had the wake-up call in the elevator. The wake-up call in the elevator. Then what did Zasha do?
At that moment, everything changed. I took immediate action, massive action to lose weight and transform my body. In my cabinet at home, there were some weight loss drops that I bought a little while before that I'd done extensive research on. that people who were morbidly obese like I wasn't just an overweight person. The doctor diagnosed me morbidly obese. So just imagine how emotionally and mentally traumatizing that is to a young lady to hear that and know that about herself. But I knew at this point I had no choice but to take control and get in control of my life and take my power back. I went home that day. I threw away all the food in my house, Terrance, my refrigerator, everything. I looked in the mirror, and as disgusted as I was with myself, I said, Zasha, you would never be obese again. I immediately started taking the drops. I cut out all processed food, fried food, sweets, carbs, sugars, sodas, everything, and I went to work. I kept a food journal. I wrote down my weight, my inches, my thoughts, my emotions, everything I ate from breakfast to dinner, eating nothing but all I ate was protein, which is lean beef or chicken, green vegetables, and certain fruits that were low in sugar, which was pretty much apples and strawberries. I've done so much research on complex carbs, simple carbs, what fruits were high in sugar, what vegetables were high in sugar, low in sugar. I became upset. I started speaking life into my transformation. I would look in the mirror every day, even on days in tears, when it was so hard for me to see the end, to see the finish line. I would look in the mirror and say, I am healthy, I am fit, I am happy, I am strong, and my best body is ahead of me, Terrance. Even when I didn't believe it, I said it anyway. I kept that journal, became my Bible. I kept it in my purse, and I wrote down everything. For the first month, I was starting to see results. I'd lost about almost 30 pounds. So for the first time in 10 years, trying every product and program in the book, I was finally seeing results. As the weight started to come off, I was determined to stay focused. Because just because you see the scale move, Terrance, it does not mean that you won't be tempted, and it doesn't mean that you won't have bad days where you feel like giving up. Because that's what weight loss is. It is incredibly difficult.
Let me stop you right there, because I told you every time you say a nugget that needs to be repeated, I'm gonna cut you off, because that's so important. You said to our audience that you lost 30 pounds. Some people, that is the major goal that they are trying to get to. They are trying to just lose the 30 pounds. You lost 30 pounds, but yet you are advising us not to get happy about that. You are letting us know that even after losing that much weight, that you can be tempted. So you got to say that again. Say that again for this audience so that they can understand what you really were going through.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because you see the scale move, it does not mean that you won't be tempted. This is why people yo-yo there. This is why you can never, with weight loss, you don't just throw in the towel. Weight loss is a lifestyle change. This is something that you have to dedicate. That's the difference between losing the weight and losing it and keeping it off. This is why people yo-yo. Wow. Because they haven't quite got in their mental, they haven't quite gotten in the state that they need to get in to realize this is a forever. This is not a temporary change. It's a lifestyle.
I love it. I want you to stop right at that point, because I know we've got some people. We definitely got people on Facebook Live, but we've got some people on in the queue on Blog Talk Radio. I want to give them the opportunity to come in and either give us a comment or tell us what they feel about the show so far. So I am going to bring one of our callers on. You ready to take a call, Zasha?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we are going to go to the 480 area code, last four digits 2076. Caller, are you on the line?
Hello, Terrance. Coach Z, I am so proud of you.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, I am so proud of you. Terrance, hello, my friend.
How are you? I know who you are, but tell our audience, who are you?
This is Lisa Hall.
Lisa.
Oh, hi, Lisa.
from Arizona, the author of this phenomenal book, The Cuts Don't Hurt Anymore. Is that who we're talking to?
That's who you're talking to.
Wow,
Yes, it
the
is.
one who's got this great book that I'm showing on Facebook Live right now with that phenomenal picture and that phenomenal smile. That's the same Lisa Hall we're talking to?
That's right. Yes, it is.
All right. How are you, Lisa?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
What's your question?
I am so inspired. No, I don't have a question. I don't have a question. Well, I might, but Coach Z, I am just so proud of you. I'm proud of you for not giving up. I'm proud of you for finding your why and finding that fire that burns inside of you. I'm proud of you for just being there so that I'm glad that you saved your life to help me save mine. Yeah.
So what do you say to that?
I was not supposed to cry. I was not supposed to cry. We cried together, Lisa. It's okay. We cried together.
So, Lisa, you're actually working with Coach Z on some coaching as well, right?
I am.
So tell us what is she helping you with, and how's that experience been so far?
Phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. I've been battling my weight my whole life. I had success, and then I bounced back. And then I had success, and I bounced back due to life and due to whatever I was going through. And when I met Coach Z is when I realized and was determined that I will never look back again. I'm never going to look back again, and I'm going to give it my all. And she has helped me. She's helped me through that. We have cried many tears together. We have had many laughs together. But through it all, she has been there for me. I'm still on my journey, and I still have a ways to go, but I've had so much success, and I have so much more energy now. I feel amazing, and I'm just going to keep going. So, and if it wasn't for you, Coach Z, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I can't thank you enough.
Wow. What do you say to that, Coach Z?
You know, it's a beautiful thing, Terrance. I've never in a million years, imagine that I'd be in this beautiful place where I'm able to, use my pain as an incredible purpose to just go out there and help people to change their lives. And it's an amazing, it's a humbling, very humbling feeling. And I'm so grateful for Lisa, because sometimes I don't know who's coaching who. Because she's so incredible like that. But, I am honored to be able to walk with her along her journey. And she's on fire. She's went from a size 3X to a size 1X in just a few short months. Her and I have been, that I've been coaching her. So it's an awesome experience for the both of us, and I'm honored.
Phenomenal. So, Lisa, last thing, if someone was interested in working with Coach Z, tell them why they should go ahead and make that decision right now.
My question to them would be, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to work with Coach Z? She will be there with you every step of the way. Every time that you feel like giving up, she will remind you of why you started. And it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing to be side by side working with her on my journey. And if you want somebody who is going to push you and get real with you, and she needs to get real with you, but be so supportive of you and your journey and non-judgmental, but will push you as far as you want to be pushed, then Coach Z is who you need to be working with.
All right. Well, Lisa, of course, we can't let you get off the phone without giving a shameless plug for your book. How can they get in contact with you and get a copy of your fabulous book, The Cuts Don't Hurt Anymore, From Abuse to Abundance?
You can find my book on Amazon, as well as Barnes & Noble. You can get in touch with me on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, email, myvoicesreal@gmail.com. I'm out there. You can find me. I've got amazing, just stay tuned. I have some amazing, phenomenal news that I will be releasing soon that I can't release on your show yet, but it's coming. So just stay tuned. It's exciting.
All right. Well, you know what I say. I know that you are unstoppable, and now it's just going to be less of you to hug the next time I see you, because you are definitely doing the thing, and you're going to be seen in 2017 as well, Lisa. So thank you for calling in and supporting Coach Z tonight, okay?
You're welcome. Thank you. I love you, Coach Z. I love you, Lisa. Thank you. You're welcome. You guys have a good night.
Okay.
You too. Thanks.
All right. So how does that feel to be telling your story, Coach Z, and getting that type of response?
It's pushing me into a whole nother place, Terrance. To know that if I can do that for one person, and that I can do this for thousands of people, and this is the rewarding, this is the self-fulfilling, this is that rewarding feeling that I was looking for at my job. When I think back at how I was sitting at the desk, I just felt like I have no passion at all about this. Is this what society said you're supposed to do? Everyone said that you're supposed to graduate high school, go to college, and work out in corporate America, and that's your American dream. And I just always felt like there was so much more to it. I wanted to impact lives. I wanted to make a difference. But I had no idea the amount of pain that I was going to have to go through in order to get there. And it humbles me even more, and it makes me, the gratitude that I feel right now in my heart that God chose me. I feel handpicked for this. That's how I feel right now. I'm blown away. Speechless.
And we are so glad that you are here. Well, it's going to be clear that we are going to go extend beyond this hour. So can you hang out with us past this hour? I know you got hubby in the background. He probably got the bags packed and ready to walk out the door. But can we have you for another 30 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. You guys, you're watching the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge. We've got a phenomenal guest tonight. She is the body transformation coach, none other than Zasha Hall Walker. Gotta support my brother in the background, Zasha Hall Walker. And she is telling an amazing story of transformation. And we've got one other person that's in the queue that has been there throughout the whole show. I want to see if they want to have a comment or a question. So can we take another quick call, and then we'll get you to talking about some key steps that people can start right now as they move into 2017 with their weight loss journey. Are you ready to take another call?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we are going to the 404 area code, the last 5 digits, 5057. You didn't press the 1, but you're on the call. So we wanted to open up the line and see if you had a question or a comment for Zasha Hall Walker. Last 4 digits, 5057. You are live on the Unstoppable Story Show.
Zasha, this is family Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla. So glad you got a chance to listen in. Hello. Absolutely. I would not have missed this for the world. I was actually coming back from my workout. I hadn't showered or anything. I said, I've got to get on this call. I'm going to miss dinner and everything. I'm getting on this call. I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I love you and I appreciate you. Terrance, she was there in Hawaii when I was struggling with my weight. I would call her, she's 5,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean, and she was that one family member that I could always turn to no matter what time it was. That's a 6-hour time difference in the Pacific Northwest. she was always there for me. She was always, I appreciate you so much, Priscilla.
Absolutely. Have to do it. Have to do it. I'm so proud of you. And I just know that you're going places. I've always known that. You and I have many conversations, thinking outside of the box and living life on purpose and pursuing dreams. So I know you're headed everywhere upward.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so very much. So much.
So Priscilla, this is Coach T. So you knew Zasha before the transformation, and you know Zasha after the transformation. What's different about her, other than the obvious?
Well, her spirit has always been the same. At the core of who she is, she's just a phenomenal person. It runs in the family. But but the difference being is she found her voice. She found her voice, and when you find your voice, and there's a specific job for you to do, you're unstoppable. Nobody can touch you. And that's what I would say would be the difference. She's no longer smiling because that's just who she is. She's smiling because of a reason now she has to smile. That's the difference.
Okay, Priscilla, so I got a $20 bill I'm sending to you because you just gave a great tagline for the Unstoppable Story Show, and I gotta say it again.
Yes, we did.
You said when you find your voice and you find your purpose, you become unstoppable. Man, Coach Z, you didn't tell me there was another coach in the family as well.
Hey, what can I say? Greatness is in our blood, Terrance.
All right now. Okay. Well, Priscilla,
the waters run deep in this family. The waters run very deep in this family. Just know you have a phenomenal woman on the call tonight. You picked a very, very, very good person to be on the call, to change lives, to motivate people, and to touch hearts and spirits. Not just outside, but inside.
Wow. Well, thank you, Priscilla, for coming out and joining us on the call and sharing those great words about Zasha, and we appreciate you. I want you to have a great end of the year and a phenomenal, unstoppable 2017 as well, okay?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Anytime.
All right. So that was a great segue into going into our second half. We are going to take another quick commercial break, and then Zasha, I want you to end our show giving our audience, now that you told them that phenomenal story, we can't leave them with that. Now we've got to talk to them. What is it that they can do right now to start 2017, not on a weight loss journey, but on a lifestyle journey? So when we come back, can you have that conversation with them?
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, you are watching and listening to the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge on blogtalkradio.com and live on Facebook. I see your comments out there. And when we come back on the other side, we're gonna mention some of the comments out loud from our Facebook audience, and then Coach Z is gonna wrap it up, giving us a few tips that we can use right now to start our lifestyle journey and transform our bodies in 2017. So stay tuned. You are listening to and watching the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge on Blog Talk Radio and Facebook Live.
The Unstoppable Story Show is sponsored by the Unwelcome Committee. Follow the journey of three women through one of life's most difficult challenges, becoming a young widow. Maureen Bobo, Chastity Williams, and Khadija Ali share three different perspectives of how becoming a widow and dealing with the process of grief changed their lives forever. To get your copy of the Unwelcome Committee book, go to theunwelcomecommittee.com. The Unstoppable Story Show is looking for you. Email us at Terrance@unstoppablecoaching.com to get an interview for your unstoppable story. The Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge. Ordinary people, unstoppable stories.
All right, welcome back to the Unstoppable Stories with Terrance Leftridge on Blog Talk Radio and live on Facebook Live. We've got a lot of people in the Facebook Live room, so I just want to shout them out again. We shouted out Alonza Michelle Patterson Gratique. Brenda Carrington said, praise God for you and hearing that voice. Isaac Walker said, beautiful people do beautiful things. Casey Bizboss, Candy Conda said, great story. We've got Tony Fonte in the room, and it's the great comments are just pouring in for your story, Zasha. How does that feel to know that you're affecting people so positively tonight?
It's really hard to explain. I feel it's an amazing feeling, Terrance. It truly is from deep down in my heart. The gratitude that I have right now. I'm in a place of gratitude. I'm truly thankful for it. I really am.
Well, you are well deserving of it. Tavia Free Spirit says, God has so many great things in store for you, Zasha. Today, the Unstoppable Show, 2017, the big screen. Wow. Okay. Bless your ministry. Wow. So, okay, now, all right. So, not Honolulu, but maybe LA.
Speaking it into existence.
Okay, let's go. That photo shoot was just the beginning you did last week, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so we are on the other side. We're coming down the home stretch, the extended version of the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge with body transformation coach Zasha Hall. I mean, this is just, you look at these pictures and it's just a phenomenal transformation. You can literally say these are two different people, not just physically, but as I look at the picture that you sent me, the side by side, the before picture and the after picture, I always look at people and their smile, and a smile tells me a lot about somebody. When someone is afraid to really smile and show their teeth, whether they're jagged or whether they're perfect, that tells me that there's something hiding behind that smile that just doesn't want to come out. But then I look at the picture right next door to it, and there's the picture of you standing there with the pants on that you used to wear in the outfit that you now wear, and look at that smile. Mm-hmm. Look at that smile. You didn't know in the first picture that you even had teeth. And in the second picture, it looks like the teeth are just coming out to take center stage. Tell me how...
Yeah, you had to ask me to smile.
And I bet people don't have to ask you to smile these days, do they?
They sure don't.
Why is that? Tell us.
When you are in any form, when a person is dealing with something as emotional as weight loss, as emotional as looking at themselves in the mirror and seeing failure and seeing pain and just seeing what they seem to have lost and forgotten about, which is themselves. There's just a certain part of you that dies. You feel emotionally dead on the inside. And that's the part that a lot of people are not putting out there, It's, you just don't, it's something that you can't hide. I could not hide the way I truly felt. I couldn't hide my pain. I couldn't hide my emotions. That's why I hid from the world. That's why I didn't go around family. I didn't, my social life was pretty much 0 to none. And it's because now I am transformed. This is from the inside out. I changed my mind before my body followed through. And that, again, is another thing. I'm not saying that people have to do what I did and move 5,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean and go to Hawaii and do. That was just something so far-fetched that I did. But what people are going to have to do is they're going to have to take a risk. They're going to have to invest in themselves and make a decision. And that's the difference between the before and the after picture. It's the journey. It's the journey that makes you who you are. It's not the before and it's not the after. That is why I smile. It's because of who this journey created me to be. I am no longer, I let go of my limiting story to create my new identity and who I have become now, which is a person that loves to smile.
And it shows. you know, I got a colleague by the name of Maria Vega out of Houston, Texas. She's a fellow speaker, and she talks about the Oreo cookie. And the Oreo cookie has the dark chocolate on the outside, and it's stuck together. Two pieces of dark chocolate stuck together. Between it is some cream filling. And she says that many of us are like that Oreo cookie. We're trapped by our dark sides. But oh, when we break the cookie open, we really find out that the good stuff is on the inside. And when you change your mind, and when you transform your mindset, and when you find out that the good stuff was already on the inside of you, oh man, it makes it so much easier to deal with the outside. And I want to say this to you before we go any further. You know that person, that 350-pound Zasha Hall? She's beautiful. She just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you're not beautiful now because you lost 180 pounds. No, you were beautiful all along. Now it's just easier to see the beauty. Not because you lost 180 pounds, but because now you're not afraid to smile.
Absolutely. No longer afraid.
No longer afraid. So tell us, what, because, this is all fine. This is good. We talked about the mindset, but now we got to get to the meat and potatoes. No pun intended. What do they have to do once they change their mind, once they make the decision that they're going to make this lifestyle change in 2017? What's some things that they can do right now in 2016 to ensure that this lifestyle change transformation occurs in 2017?
From my heart, from Coach Z to you, this is what you need to do. Having a weight loss goal in your mind without a plan is just a wish. And that's what a lot of people out here doing. They're desiring to lose weight, and they wish to lose weight, and they want to lose weight. But taking action to doing it is two totally different things. You must come up with a plan, which means from the very beginning, if you're going to use a product, if you're going to use a certain program, if you're going to decide to join a gym, whatever it is that you're going to decide to do. If you want to decide you want to work with Coach Z, because that's something that I provide for my clients, is I give them that strategy. It's the same strategy, Terrance, that I use on my 15-month journey to lose 52 inches across my entire body and 180 pounds. During that time, I was able to use my personal knowledge, what I developed along my journey and my experiences to create a plan that not only would help a person lose the weight, but this is about creating lasting change and keeping it off. You must have a plan. So it's all about making a decision. So what I would suggest is to come up with a plan and invest in yourself. So it's either, if you have a product in mind, you have a program in mind, you've got to make a decision and decide this is what you're going to use and stick to it. Because they're the reason why there's millions of products out there, millions of programs, and there's still 4,000 people dying every day due to obesity-related diseases. It's because just because the product is there and just because the program is there The product and the program can't do it for you. You have got to know without a shadow of a doubt and get clear in your mind, 100% certainty. That is a key fundamental of weight loss when it comes to making the decision and keeping it off. So I highly suggest that one thing is devising a plan so your weight loss desires move from being a wish to being real, having a plan.
I love it. And you know, the old saying is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I love that is your first point. What next? After they make that plan, what else do you recommend?
I would recommend, after you make that plan, to take immediate action. You can't, with weight loss, you can't. It can't be something that you just do half-heartedly. You've got to go all in, and you have to give it all you got if you want lasting change, if you want real results. You've got to be willing to take immediate action like I did. That day, I didn't wait till the next day to make a decision. When I got that message in that elevator that day and I heard that voice, that was it for me. See, nowadays we just have really hard times. There's so many, distractions out there and so much going on that we're dealing with emotionally. You've got to get in control of your emotions. You've got to tell your body and your mind who's boss. You've got to get in control, take immediate action, whatever it is that you're going to decide to do. If you're going to work with me, I will immediately set up my coaching program for you, and we'll immediately go to work that week. You've got to get your scale, your weight scale. You've got to get your food journal. You've got to start writing down. You've got to get so obsessed. What I recommend, you guys, is becoming obsessed, doing something totally different than you've ever done before. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter their opinions. You're going to have to change your lifestyle, your habits, your diets, your beliefs. Some things that you've been believing your whole entire life. Everything changes. You're going to have to some of your friends. I can't tell you how many friends right now that I had before. Some kind of way they went away.
Okay.
And they're no longer here.
Yeah. Understandable. And
Absolutely.
Anyone who has been watching any of Coach Z's videos, she does her videos at like midnight and like 12:30 in the morning, and I'm like, why are you doing this at 12:30 in the morning? And she said that's because she is just leaving the gym. And so that's what she's saying to you. You got to do something that you have never done before. You've got to step outside of your comfort zone, and you are going to have to do something different. So there's a saying that if you do the same thing the same way and expect a different result, that's called insanity. But there's also a trainer out there whose program is called Insanity, because he knew that if you wanted to make something different of your life and of your lifestyle, sometimes you just got to get insane about it. You got to get obsessed about it. You've got to be unstoppable in making that change in your life. Yes. That's what you're saying, Zasha?
Yes. That's exactly. You took the words out of my mouth.
All right. And
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. And do you have a final tip that you want to give them? So you said make a plan, start right now, take massive action, and then what?
Commit.
Oh, wow.
Committing is another key fundamental. See, these are these things that I know, because I've lost it and kept it off for 4 years. The fundamentals must be practiced every single day. I live, eat, and breathe transformation from the time I wake up until the time I go to sleep. You must put your mind and your body in a state where there's no excuses. There's no, it's Christmas, let's cheat. It's Thanksgiving. That very first year, I blew through Thanksgiving and Christmas still eating protein and vegetables. I didn't indulge in any holiday treats at all whatsoever. When you truly commit and you have a made up mind, that is what's going to keep you on the course. Because I don't know how long your journey is. You know, the people that are listening and the people that are going to listen to the recorded version, I'm not sure how long you got them. If you were someone like me, who what seemed impossible all of a sudden turned into the possible, but I had to walk it for 15 months. It's not something that happened overnight. There are a lot of you listening. You're going to have to go through the exact same thing. And I encourage you to commit to your journey. Have a no matter what attitude. Beware of distractions, including yourself.
And you know what? I told you earlier, I did some results. I did some research before the show. And one of the things that you just touched on is one of the things that I want to reiterate again. And that was, this was a 15-month journey for you. And what I want people to understand is, I went to GoNutrition.com, and one of their fitness experts, Tom Routley, said, don't expect instant results. It can be overwhelming to simply state you want to have six-pack abs or lose numerous dress size. So instead, set many achievable, smaller goals. Set those too big a goal, and you'll be likely to give up when a minuscule step towards achieving it. But achieving a 2-pound weight loss for a month, or being able to run that 5K morning run 30 seconds faster than you could, are all realistic. So if you go into this thing knowing that it's not going to happen overnight, you know, and overnight success does not happen overnight. And that's the same thing with the lifestyle change. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Wow. All right. And then I think probably the most important thing that you haven't said yet is that if people really want to make a lifestyle change, if people really want to make this transformation into the body and the mind that they really want to have, then they probably need to get with a coach. Would you think?
Absolutely, hands down. You all can reach me. I am everywhere on Facebook. It's my Facebook business page is Coach Z, the Body Transformation Coach. You will see these before and after pictures if you are on the live show on my bio. But I do believe I've searched through it. I'm the only Coach Z, the Body Transformation Coach out there, so you will know that it's me. And you can send me a personal message if you have any questions. But if you are really serious about getting started and you want information about having me as your personal coach and learning about my program and my strategy, and you want to create lasting change and you want to transform your body, and you're just ready. You know, you're fed up, your back's against the wall like mine was, and you're ready for a drastic change. You can actually go ahead and book me for a 10-minute call. Well, I'll actually talk with you, and I'll give you a call. We'll speak personally, and we'll just connect and see, find out what we need to do to get you set up and started with the program. And that's at www.calendly.com/CoachZ/10 minutes, MIN. Again, that's calendly.com/CoachZ/10 MIN for minutes.
And you know, Coach Z, I'm going to ask you to, after the show, to post that on the Unstoppable Stories event page that we created for tonight so that they can get back in contact with you. But that is some great information. And for all you guys who are watching on Facebook Live right now, I've got a picture posted right now, again, of the before and the after picture of Coach Z. And the caption above it, it says it all. What are you waiting for? Don't wait until the clock strikes 12 and the numbers roll over to 2017 to decide that you're going to start then. It's one thing that I know for a fact. There are a lot of people who made that same mistake in 2015 but never saw the clock strike 12 into 2016. So what's my point? There's no guarantee that if you wait, that you're going to have time to save your life. Take that time right now. The opportunity is yours to make a difference. The opportunity is yours to transform not only your mind, but your body. Coach Z did it, and if she can do it, then there's one thing I know for sure. You can do it too. Coach Z, any final last words before we wrap up this wonderful edition of the Unstoppable Story Show?
I just want to extend my gratitude to you and tell you thank you, for opening up this platform for me to share my story. And, for my guests and my listeners, I truly appreciate you all for giving us your time. And I hope that there was something from what I said that inspires you to just get started, to go into 2017 and take your power back. This is your time. This is your season. And this is your moment. This right now is your moment to get healthy and change your life.
Wow. Well, you know what? I thank you so much. I am so glad that I ran across you on Facebook. I am honored to call us Facebook friends. I cannot wait to meet you in person in 2017. So that means we definitely have to make something happen where we get together and continue to change lives, because, I think you're unstoppable. But that's just me personally. So
I love it. Yes, let's do that.
Yes, indeed. So again, the body transformation coach, Zasha Hall Walker. Enjoy your honeymoon with your new husband, and we look forward to unstoppable things from you in 2017. Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That is the body transformation coach herself, Zasha Hall Walker. Well, you guys, that is a wrap of the Unstoppable Story Show for 2016. I wish you all a wonderful, safe, enjoyable new year, but I want you to come back, because in 2017, we're going to be coming strong again with the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrance Leftridge, where we are talking to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And I want to thank you, and especially you, because without you, this show doesn't exist. I'm simply a vessel that allows a platform for people like you to come and share your story so that you have the opportunity to save someone's life. So until we connect again, here's what I want you to do. I want you to dream big, aim high, and believe in the impossible. And like Zasha did, never, ever, ever, ever forget that you can be unstoppable. Don't just make it a great day, make it an unstoppable day. And here's to living your life on the next level. Happy New Year. Take care.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And thank you out there in Facebook land for staying with us for the full 90 minutes. Thank you to Lisa Adams. Awesome, she said. Isaac Walker. Hats off, Terrance. Thank you, Isaac, my brother. Go ahead and send me a friend request. I want to be able to connect with you guys after the show. Thank you, Tavia, as always, for joining us. Thank you, Brenda Carrington. Thank you, Alonza Michelle Patterson Gratique. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you, Cara Campbell. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't do it without you. Now, hey, until we connect again, I want you to go out and change somebody's life and keep being unstoppable. Take care, family, and Happy New Year.